The Premier League is evolving, and it's possible we see new developments in the coming season in the English Premier League. We know a few years ago they introduced VAR and some other new developments in football, and it's actually good. We are in the technology era where um, so many of these things are being handled by technologies. So there will be so many other things that will be introduced to the Premier League coming from next season. In the World Cup, we saw some of these new developments like the hydration break, so many other things that happened in the World Cup that made so many people see football from another perspective. So, Fabrizio reported that the Premier League is introducing three major VAR transparency changes this season. So, the first is the referee audio. So the fans will be able to hear selected on-field conversations between referees and players after the final whistle. So after the final whistle, the conversation that happens between players and referees, the fans will be able to hear the home field conversations. Number two is the VAR explanations. The Premier League will publish near live explanations for selected VAR incidents on social media, including direct quotes from the referee and VAR explaining why a decision was made or why VAR did not intervene. So there will be explanations as to why some decisions are not made during the VAR intervention, and there will be VAR explanations basically. So the KMI panel, for the first time, the verdicts of the key match incident panel will be made public. The panel reviews major refereeing and VAR decisions and decides whether an error was made. Of course, if you are really going to look at it critically, we'll see that VAR has brought a lot of corrections to football, even though it still has some lapses. It's still controlled by human, so you cannot tell me that there won't be all those back and forth and some decisions that goes wrong in football. Sometimes they come out to apologize, but it is not what should happen. The result will not change, so there is no point coming out to apologize and all of those things. But I feel with the introduction of these three major VAR interventions in football, I feel it's going to make the Premier League look more balanced in some sense. With this introduction of VAR and these changes in football, the football is evolving, Premier League is evolving, so we need to actually adjust to some of these things. So these three VAR interventions would come up in the coming season. So let's see how it's going to affect the Premier League and how it's going to make the Premier League look at the end of the day. I feel it's going to be interesting because introducing VAR as when you're going to weigh it is about, for me, it's about 60 to 40. Of course, 40% of time VAR could go wrong due to the fact that it's also being controlled by human, and 60% of time it has actually helped football as a whole. So let's see what happens. Let's hope.